The most powerful people in history ruled vast empires, commanded unimaginable wealth, and reshaped the world. But when they died, some of them pulled off the greatest disappearing act of all time. For centuries, the graves of legendary kings, queens, and conquerors have remained lost, becoming some of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. From a queen whose tomb has been missing for over 3,000 years, to warlords so feared their graves were designed to vanish forever. These are the world's most prominent undiscovered tombs, and finding even one of them wouldn't just make headlines, it could rewrite history. Number 5. Attila the Hun. We begin with a name that terrified the ancient world, Attila the Hun. The Romans called him the Scourge of God. His campaigns devastated Europe, and his empire stood at Rome's doorstep. But his death in 453 AD is where history begins to blur into legend. Instead of dying in battle, ancient sources claim Attila died suddenly on his wedding night, possibly from internal bleeding after a severe nosebleed. Strange enough. But what followed was even stranger. According to legend, Attila was buried in 3 coffins, one of gold, one of silver, and one of iron, symbolizing wealth, power, and strength. His warriors are said to have diverted an entire river, buried him in the riverbed, and then released the water back over the grave. To ensure the location stayed secret, the workers were killed. Then, according to legend, the soldiers who killed them were also executed. Today, archaeologists believe the tomb may lie somewhere beneath the Great Hungarian Plain, where Hun-era gold has been discovered. But Attila himself remains lost, a final act of dominance even in death. Number 4. Nefertiti. Next, we travel to ancient Egypt in search of one of history's most iconic figures, Nefertiti. Her face is world famous, yet her final resting place has never been identified. After the Amarna period, Nefertiti simply disappears from the historical record, making her tomb one of Egyptology's greatest holy grails. For years, the search has focused on the Valley of the Kings. But in 2015, a shocking theory suggested something extraordinary. What if Nefertiti's tomb has been hiding in plain sight? British archaeologist Nicholas Reeves proposed that Tutankhamun's tomb might only be an outer chamber, and that hidden doorways behind its walls could lead to Nefertiti's burial. Scans revealed faint outlines beneath painted plaster, triggering a global media frenzy. Radar results were inconclusive, and Egyptologists remain divided. Some believe the theory is flawed. Others argue the evidence is still unresolved. Meanwhile, DNA studies of unidentified royal mummies continue. For now, the queen remains hidden, possibly just meters away from one of the most famous tombs ever discovered. Number 3. Cleopatra. From one iconic queen to another, known across the world, Cleopatra, her death in 30 BC is legendary. But despite her fame, no one knows where she was buried. For centuries, historians assumed her tomb lay somewhere in ancient Alexandria, but earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising seas may have erased it forever. Then came a radical new idea. Archaeologist Kathleen Martinez believes Cleopatra, a devoted follower of Isis, would have chosen to be buried in a sacred site dedicated to Isis and Osiris. Her search centers on Taposiris Magna, a temple complex west of Alexandria, whose name literally means Great Tomb of Osiris. Since 2005, Martinez's team has uncovered coins bearing Cleopatra's image, statues, and evidence of royal activity. But in 2022, they made a staggering discovery: a 4,300-foot tunnel carved beneath the temple, leading toward the sea. Underwater ruins connected to the site have since been found, raising the possibility that Cleopatra's body was secretly transported away from Roman reach. If this theory is correct, one of history's most famous women may be closer to discovery than ever before. Number 2. Genghis Khan. If secrecy defines any burial in history, it is that of Genghis Khan. The founder of the largest contiguous land empire ever known died in 1227 and demanded absolute secrecy even in death. According to legend, his funeral procession killed anyone who crossed its path, ensuring no witnesses survived. After the burial, 1,000 horses were ridden over the site to erase every trace. But the secrecy did not end there. The most enduring tradition claims that the soldiers who carried out the burial were themselves executed, and in some accounts, even the executioners were killed, until no one remained who could reveal the location. The tomb is believed to lie near Burkhan Khaldun, a mountain sacred to the Mongols and deeply tied to Genghis Khan's life. Today, the area lies within a protected region of Mongolia, where excavation is forbidden. For many Mongolians, leaving their founder undisturbed is not a mystery to solve, but a matter of cultural and spiritual respect. Modern researchers rely on satellites, drones, and ground-penetrating radar to study the region without digging. Several man-made structures and anomalies have been identified. Yet until excavation is permitted, the tomb remains untouched, protected by terrain, tradition, and one of history's most ruthless secrets. Number 1. Alexander the Great. Our final mystery may be the greatest of them all, Alexander the Great. By the age of 30, he had shattered the Persian Empire, the largest power the world had ever known. He crossed deserts, mountains, and rivers no army believed passable. He founded over 20 cities, many bearing his name. To his soldiers, he was unstoppable. To his enemies, unstoppable and inevitable. Then, in 323 BC, in Babylon, at the height of his power, Alexander suddenly died. His generals planned to send his body back to Macedon, sealing him in a golden coffin filled with honey to preserve it. But the journey never happened. Instead, Ptolemy, one of his closest companions, hijacked the body and brought it to Egypt, and eventually laid to rest in a monumental tomb in Alexandria. For centuries, the tomb was famous. Julius Caesar, Augustus, and other Roman emperors visited it. Then, suddenly, the record goes silent. By the 4th century AD, the tomb simply vanishes from history. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising seas may have submerged Alexandria's royal district, burying the tomb beneath layers of rubble, or beneath the Mediterranean itself. Modern archaeologists search both on land and underwater, convinced the tomb still exists, hidden beneath a city that never stopped growing. The man who conquered the known world may still be lying somewhere beneath it. From the plains of Europe to the deserts of Egypt and the mountains of Mongolia, these lost tombs are more than buried treasures. They are time capsules, holding secrets of the people who shaped our world. Finding them could answer ancient questions. But it also raises one final thought. Which of these tombs do you think will be found first? And which one do you think should never be opened? Let us know in the comments. And if you're obsessed with history's greatest mysteries, make sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss what we uncover next.